Welcome in, everybody, to Amalgamation Nation, the AM Nation Pod, episode 169. Nice. May 11th, 2021. It is Tuesday, which means we got a lot of sporting news to get into today, such as the Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres situation. We've got Russell Westbrook making history because, that's what he does. We got NFL talk and lots more to get into. As always, you can find the show on Twitter and Instagram. It's at AM Nation Pod. Hit the follow button on both of those. On YouTube, search Amalgamation Nation and hit that sub button. We appreciate it. You can listen to us on podcast platforms such as Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. When you're on there, follow the show, leave a rating, all that good stuff, and share the show with a friend. That's always good, too. If you want to be a part of any of the shows, you want to have questions, comments, all those good stuff, leave a voicemail or text the show, 815-556-9089. We're also streaming. Not only do we stream on Twitch, or on Twitter, and on our YouTube, we also stream on twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull. Make sure you go on there and give David a follow and a sub. If you have Amazon Prime, you get a free sub a month, so give it to Undead Black Bull. And also, this month, we are raising money for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. We are, is it $199.99, David? I believe that is correct. To our goal, left to our goal.
Yes, that's how much we're missing.
Awesome. There we go. $199.99. Then we hit our goal of $500. And I take a pie to the face. Now, I'm not trying to put pressure on people, but I slightly am. Okay? So you've got all of this week to donate. And you got all the next week up until May 21st. Because on May 21st, I am gone until June 1st. So if you want to see this face get pied before the end of May, it sounds kind of dirty. You better donate prior to May 21st. There we go. I know it was suggested a road pie. Listen, if I have to do it, man, all right, and I got to stop and be like, Erica, Dad, we got to get, a plate or something, put some whipped cream on and have Erica throw a pie. I'll do what I gotta do for the kids, but I would prefer to be able to do it live on Twitch with everybody. But we'll, get on there and donate.
That's probably what we'll do. We'll still do it live.
There we go. As always, you can find that down below on twitch.tv/UndeadBlackBull. It's right there. Actually, if you're watching it, if you have your phone, you can grab the QR code too, which is actually pretty cool because that's what I did when I donated earlier today. Also, you can find it on our pin tweet at AM Nation Pod on Twitter, and also on David's Twitter. It's at Undead Black Bull. So right there, boom. Go ahead and donate for the kids. All right, joining me this evening. First, I already asked him a question, so we'll start with him. Twitch.tv/Undead Black Bull. Undead Black Bull himself. David, how are you, sir?
Doing pretty good.
Oh, yeah, pretty good. Also joining us, Petey Tahiti Argus. Pete, how are you?
I'm doing good, man. It's always fun when the Cubs play the Tribe. It's always nice here in the Argus household, the hostility, the very much tension. So it's always good. But it's a bit of a shame that it's only a 2-game set. But yeah, other than that, doing well.
Watch out for those rain delays, everybody. Watch out for those rain delays.
Mother Nature, baby.
Mother Nature. Rounding out the crew this evening, last but certainly not least, from North Carolina, Brendan BK Kennerly. BK, how goes it, Power Washer?
I'm done power washing. I'm done. The driveway's done. It looks great. The front walkways are done. The brick's done. I'm glad it's done. It's something else checked off the list. Feels good, honestly.
Good. I am glad. I was nervous for you. I was worried. I was like, man, he's gonna be all tired out. It's been whooping him. It's been kicking his I gotta say butt, kicking his butt. So there's that. Although, see, the rules of this are still confusing to me, right? Last Thursday on the gaming show, it felt like the rules were all over the place for this because we're talking about what's on TV, right?
That's the rules.
It's on regular TV, basic television.
Do you believe? I have a question so I know for the rest of this show. The other term that we use to describe someone's gluteus maximus, is that on regular TV at times?
I don't know what you described it as another term.
Does it start with an A?
Yeah, the A word.
You probably should just stick with the other one.
Yeah,
to be safe.
The other one.
All right. I see how this goes. All right.
But you can say the other word like beach, the opposite, the other word of beach. You could say that word.
Sand?
That one's allowed. Yeah, genius.
Yeah, man.
Yes.
Don't pull a mic here, all right?
La Playa.
Man, yeah, La Playa. Take it to La Playa. Shout out. Brr. There we go. We do have. So we're gonna do this a little differently. Usually, I start with hockey and I get that out of the way because I don't, ain't much going on. The Hawks suck. Season's over. You couldn't even close out the season with a dub. We'll get into that, but I do want to start with the NFL because we have a voicemail from a first-time caller. All right, so this is from Melissa. She has a question about the NFL, but then she also has questions for us. So I'll play that, and you can hear it right here.
What's up, Ryan and crew? So I got a couple questions. One of them, how do you think the Seahawks are going to do if they're playing? I haven't really paid attention. Horrible fan I am. But anyway, also, I was wondering, what are you most excited for this summer? Or any fun plans or any vacations or wanting to go somewhere or what have you? That's a good one, I think. Also, I've been slacking on doing some questions and calling in, so shame on me again. So I'll be calling more.
Okay, I'll give you the rundown there because I went as high as the phone could go. I'll give you the rundown. All right. So it was Melissa, right? She asked, one, how do we think the Seahawks are going to do this year? She's a Seahawks fan, in case no one knew.
Okay.
If you listen to well, that's got still. I'm going to answer her question. All right. I answer Elaine's. I got to answer hers. Second, she wanted to know what is everybody's plans or what are they looking forward to this summer? Do we have any fun plans? Anything like that? Anything you look forward to doing, and that she plans to call more often. So thank you, Melissa, for the voicemail. Pete, I think I should start with you for that question with the Seahawks specifically. Nice. What do you think the Seahawks are going to do this year?
You know what? It might be bold. It might be middle of May. Who cares? I think Seahawks are going to finish last in the division. Calling it right now. They're going to finish in last. That division is stacked. Think about it. You got the Rams. They just added Matthew Stafford. Come on. The team was already a great defense. Boom. Loaded all around. You got Arizona. Look at the moves that the Cardinals have made this offseason. Kyler, another year. Like, they're giving him weapons. The team's already going to be better. And then you look at the other team in the division, the Niners. The most complete team probably in football prior to basically half of their team getting injured last year in 2020. So Seattle might finish like 8-8 and being last. I mean, that's just how the division is. But yeah, so they're going to finish in last. But I mean, it's definitely the best division in football. I don't think anyone can argue with it. Other divisions have 3 good teams. This division has 4. So, and then for the other question, for what I'm going to do this summer, I'm definitely traveling, like, as much as I can. I mean, like, I feel like this is the time to get the heck out of here. I mean, like, you got to see humans, you got to, interact. I mean, come on, we got to do this, So you got to soak up the sun, hang out outside, drink. That's what I plan on doing. So yeah, that's basically my summer plans.
There we go. David, first, what do you think of the Seahawks after Pete whooped them finishing at last? And what are you looking forward to do this summer, or do you have any plans so far this summer?
For the Seahawks, I have no idea, to be honest. I'm like Pete already said, that's probably the best division in football overall. We've already said this before in prior podcasts, so it's still, and they just got better. Like, that division got worse, and I don't think any team really declined overall. So it's really a toss-up, to be honest. I don't even know if it's possible, but I would be curious if the whole division could make the playoffs with the expanded wild card. that'd be because the South is horrible, right? The South is just going to be the Bucks. I don't know if the Saints are going to be able to compete. The North, we already know we suck. So, and we don't even need to talk about the East. So, I mean, it'd be hard to do, but that'd be kind of neat. So, that's definitely never happened, but it could. Just because if they beat up all the other divisions and all the other teams, They just obviously their internal fights is where it's going to matter. But if they all like split, like if everyone went 1-1 against their like head-to-head matchups in the division, it'd be close. But
Ooh. That's a
that'd
good
be
one.
interesting.
Yeah.
I like that one because to be honest, you could flip a coin and pick any one of those 4 teams and they could be best to win that division. It's going to be whoever stays the healthiest. That's who's going to win.
100%. And then what about your summer?
For summer, I currently don't have anything planned for summer right now. Kind of just winging it at the moment.
Just wing
See how
it.
things go. Yep.
There we go. Now, BK, what about you? First thoughts on Seattle. Second, what are the things you look forward to doing this summer?
So initially, when P2 was coming real hard to the paint with that aggressive stance of the Seahawks finishing last, I sit here, I think about it, I ponder, and the man is onto something. You got to give credit where credit's due. He's talking a lot of smart stuff. They didn't even have a first-round draft pick this year. They didn't have a third round. They had a second round. They drafted another wide receiver, so I mean that's keeping Russell happy. And then didn't they sign a running back though? I feel like they didn't they, in free agency?
They signed back Chris Carson.
Okay, that's
Got what they did. Yeah.
I mean, not
They
that
made the least
Carson's
moves out of that division. Let's put it that way.
yeah. So I mean, they made the least sexy moves. I could see that. It'll be interesting. The most interesting quarterback will be Jimmy Garoppolo to see how he really bounces back. He's going to be put underneath of a microscope even more now. And the team statistically does win more when he's under center. It's just a fact. The backups there are just guard with CJ. It was like CJ Beathard and Nick Mullins. The just rotating turnstile there. Because if Jimmy G falters, people are going to start calling for Trey Lance, and he's just not ready. He's a project. So that's going to be interesting. The Seahawks could do it, but I wouldn't put it too far past the 49ers to also potentially be last.
Oh, what about your summer?
I'm going to be going up there here soon. Then we're going to go to the beach. We're going to go to because we're on the coast. It's easy for us.
Of course.
Go to the beach. Try to catch an O's game or two. Other than that, I mean, we're just really enjoying spring. We haven't had a spring in so long because they usually it's just like winter, and then like when it starts to kind of get nice, you're like, oh hey, this 70s, this is cool. Then all of a sudden it's just like, got you, beach. It goes straight into the 90s. It just goes straight into the 90s, and it's just humid, miserable, and horrible. We've actually had it's been in the 70s here, going down like the 50s at night. Like we've actually had like spring weather, and it's like super nice. Just like go outside, and you're just not immediately sweating. It's really nice.
That is always good. For me, for the Seahawks, yeah, I mean, when you really start to think about the Seahawks, there's a chance that they do finish last in that division. I don't know what is the locker room situation like after everything that was happening in the offseason with Russell Wilson. Was Russell Wilson going to leave? Is there issues with him and Pete Carroll? We don't know. So there's a possibility that the Seahawks do actually finish last. But no doubt this is the best division to me in football. It will be again. Another interesting besides Jimmy G will be how does Kyler Murray continue to at least what is his trajectory still, right? Because he started off really hot last season and it kind of tapered a little bit there towards midway through the season to the end. So what is that going to look like? Also, because Cliff Kingsbury, I'm gonna be honest with you, if he doesn't really get it done, I almost feel like Arizona has to start looking in a different direction. Yeah, because they have so much talent, you have to be able to put it together. I mean, Larry Fitz can only play so long. You can only go so long.
They added AJ Green too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Did they drafted Rondale Moore, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
They're
Team
loaded at wide receiver. Like the team should be good.
What's all the defensive moves they made?
Yep.
They made a lot of defensive moves to compete with that division, which they needed to.
If Cliff and his cocaine palace mansion there can't get it together, think of some good plays. They need an 86 Sim. Get rid of him.
Oof.
Get out.
Now, for me, for summer, I did mention, I mean, it's not technically summer yet, but in a couple weeks, I am going on a road trip with the Faja and the sister. We're going to the East Coast. We're heading up northeast. I should be more specific there. So we're going to be going first. We're going to be in Philadelphia, and then we're going to go through Boston and Salem and Maine and all that stuff, and then come back down to Pittsburgh and wrap it up in Cleveland. Boom. There we go. That would be pretty sweet as well. Other than that, obviously for the summer, I just want to get to some shows. I want to get to some concerts, man. I miss live music so much. Whether that means I need to go to like beer gardens and check out cover bands. I do love to do that. It's one of my favorite things. So I'm down for that. And just getting out more. Yeah, of course. Getting out more and doing more stuff like that. Going to catch Pokemon with everybody again. That'll be really fun. And also just driving around, man. Just going places and just getting out. It's like pizza, man. Just go see humans. It's always good.
Yep.
Just go out there, see some humans. That'll be pretty sweet. Now, because we started with NFL talk, because we're gonna get into some NFL news, including we have a Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers update. All right, so Adam Schefter was on Dan Patrick. You know Dan Patrick, right? The OG from last week. He was on there, and he straight up asked him like, Where'd you get your source from? Because you keep saying there's no source. Like, what's going on? And Shefty, talked about like this. No, Rodgers didn't want this leak. The Packers didn't want this leak. There is literally no source. I just kept hearing stuff all offseason, and he basically said, I felt it was going to get released sooner or later, so I just decided to release it. There's literally no source, none of it. He just decided to do it. So last week, some of us, or some people, blamed the Packers. Some people blame Rodgers. Seems like we should have just blamed Shefty. Should have went right to him. Just blamed Adam Schefter for taking away the moment on Thursday night. BK, you have a theory on this.
Yeah. The draft was on this channel called ESPN. Adam Schefter happens to work for ESPN. That's crazy. And what better way to get more eyeballs on the draft and your sports network, ESPN, the day of the draft, than to leak out this information the day of, essentially just do a whole Twitter bomb and get everybody talking about it, and because they're going to tune into the draft because more people will, because they're going to be looking for that big blockbuster trade. Yeah. And it's kind of going into that overarching theory here, so where ESPN, I feel like, dictated that move more than Adam Schefter. That's complete tinfoil hat theory there. Like because at least from everything, Adam Schefter's career, he seems like a good guy. Everyone likes him in the biz. Like, he does not have an enemy, and so this just seems like a very out of character move for him. And I just think it fits in with the overarching thing of ESPN is just trying to make almost news out of nothing and try to dictate what you're talking about. Because I also, since I was pressure washing and I was doing a bunch of that on every single ESPN radio, like, duo program that they had, that I was like listening to while pressure washing. So I heard 4 or 5 different, groups, duos, whatever. Yeah. They all talk about 2 freaking things. They talked about like the NBA playing games, and they talked about Aaron Rodgers. That's it. They didn't talk about hockey. They didn't talk about MLB. They didn't talk about like UFC or whatever. They all talked mostly about the Aaron Rodgers thing, and that's where everything stemmed around about it. And so that's why I think this, and like I said, that's why I put the little tinfoil hat here from Signs, but call me crazy. You can. That's fine. I'll take it.
I don't think you're crazy. I think that makes perfect sense, actually. David, also, before I ask you, David, too, there is more rumors swirling around that the Broncos are becoming one of the favorites to try and land Aaron Rodgers. We talked about that a little bit last week, too. But your thoughts here now, David, on one, Schefter basically saying there was literally no source, and also what is going on still with his Rodgers-Packers situation.
So for him saying there's no source, it's hard to say because usually he's the source, right? So, yeah. I mean, for us to say, obviously he doesn't get a source because he's usually our source, right? We usually don't have anyone else but him. So for him to say that he doesn't have a source, maybe he is the source. I don't know. Maybe he just maybe that's his asterisk quote of, I don't have a source. I'm not the source, but I'm just going to spill this. No one physically told me. But also at the same time, if he's if he's hearing all these backstories or mumble talk from other players or coaches or other teams, you know, behind the scenes, and he gets wind of it here and there, I'm sure at some point someone probably approached him not to talk about it at, you know, or it's all hearsay and it's not true and they decline it. But if you keep hearing about it after so long, right? Like if you're at your job, right, you keep hearing this rumor over and over and over, eventually you're gonna be like, you know, is it true? You know, and then you start thinking about it. So that's probably what it was. Yeah. Yeah. Sorry there, Ryan.
That's all right.
But you keep hearing it over and over, and eventually, you know what? Maybe it is true, right? So what he did was he spilled it and hoping that, you know, maybe Rodgers or someone from the Packers would confirm it, and that then he would hit his source. As for BK's theory, it sounds right. It sounds like something ESPN would want to do, make people to tune in for their NFL draft. For all you know, it could have even went higher than that. It could have been someone from the NFL saying, hey, let's do this information. It could have been a leak. Someone from the NFL could have leaked some talk around him just to say, hey, you know what? You know, you never know. This is draw in hype because, you know, it's the draft. It's live. They want to make sure everyone tunes in. They have fans there. They want everyone to come out. It's kind of like their first big live event since the Super Bowl. So, you know, they want to make sure they draw in that crowd. As for the Broncos emerging as favorites as a trade target, I mean, that's a Broncos move. They usually trade for a quarterback that's near the end of his prime and then end up winning a championship out of it. So they'll probably try to do that again, deplete all their assets for it, which they kind of already. No, I was thinking of San Fran that already did that. That's why San Fran can't do it, because they've already got rid of all their assets. So they kind of, else that would have been the perfect suit for them. As for a trade target, I guess it could be the Broncos. I mean, it could really be anybody, but we know it's not going to be anyone in the NFC North because we already been down this road with Favre. The Packers aren't trading within the division, even though Favre wanted to go to the Vikings. There's no way that he's going anywhere inside the NFC North. So we could already rule out any of those teams because no way the Packers are going to want to face him 2 times a year.
100%. Also, he wants the win, so like, you know, I wouldn't go to any of the NFC North teams either. Frank did say, and he was joking, but Seahawks and Packers talk about possible trade of their quarterbacks. There we go, Pete. You want Russell? You want Russell Wilson?
No.
No? Oh wow.
No. I want Aaron Rodgers. That's who I want.
Your thoughts?
That's who I want.
Your thoughts on the ongoing hoopla about the Packers?
Well, I'm just glad. Well, I'm just glad Schefter admitted this because, like, all right, from either camp, it made no sense. Like, think about it. Like, why would the Packers want to release this? Why would Rodgers want to release this on draft night? Like, Thursday, he goes to the Derby every year. It's 2 days before the Derby where there's going to be tons of media. Why would he want to take all that huge commotion? Why would his camp release it? If he wanted out, he should have done this like months ago. So, like, for Schefter to admit it, props to him. But for even releasing the story, it just makes no sense. Yeah, we've known that ever since. I mean, there was other things that was like drama between Rodgers and the Packers, like before the Jordan Love pick was even made, about communication breakdown and whatnot. So, like, for this to even get released, I don't know. It is. I mean, he's not off, with this, tinfoil, theory that he has because it's ESPN. ESPN. I mean, come on. Are we talking, like, look at how much ESPN's paying Stephen A. Smith to say things that, like, he's not even knowledgeable about. I mean, True. Like, talking about, like, guys on the, what was it, BK on the Wizards, like, a few weeks ago, that haven't even played, like, in months, when he was talking about, supporting cast.
Troy Brown Jr., I think that's who he was talking about, I think.
Yeah, it was Troy, I was like, what are you doing? So, like, I mean, and also an ESPN decision they made today, got rid of Kenny Mayne. Okay, yep. Kenny Mayne's the man. Like, what are they doing? So, yeah. I mean, I could see this as, like, ESPN, NFL kind of teaming up. I could easily see it. But my thing is what else were sport fans really going to watch? What else were you going to watch? You're going to watch some baseball game that was on Thursday, like, instead of the draft? I mean, nobody was going to be watching anything. NFL draft, they were going to have prime time. Like, I just don't understand, like, the whole, like, let's release it this day. Let's get as many, eyeballs. I just don't understand it from ESPN's perspective because the draft is such a big deal. I mean, people were going to watch regardless, I think tune in. So, Yeah, I didn't really understand from that perspective. So and with this whole Rodgers thing and sources, I mean, as a Packer fan, I'm just so sick of it. I mean, because it's just like, what are we gonna do here? I mean, you clearly have a disagreement between Rodgers and the front office. They both want to get something done. Rodgers wants to control his future. The Packers want to basically control everything else, and they're just in a stalemate. That's just what it is. And in terms of for the Broncos being emerging as a trade favorite, I mean, it makes the most sense. They're not going to trade him to any team in the NFC if they have a chance to play against him. No way the Packers are going to do that. Look what they did with Favre. They traded him to Jets. Like, there's no way. So, and if I'm Rodgers, like, do I really want to go to Denver? Like, I mean, really, do I want to like go to Denver right now? Like, I mean, I just don't see it. I mean, they have some young pieces on the outside. They got a couple good running backs. I mean, their defense is decent. Von Miller's coming off a bad Achilles injury. Who knows what he's going to be? So I don't understand it from his perspective. I think it's just a stalemate. I mean, it's a contract negotiation. That's what it is. Like Rodgers is trying to be like, hey, I want this. Packers are trying to be like this. And then the thing that Schefter did say, like one of the sources where it came from, was from the Minneapolis Star Tribune. Oh, what team plays there? Minnesota. Who do the Packers beat normally? Oh, Minnesota. Let's release this and let's really cause chaos. So, I mean, whatever. I mean, as a Packer fan, I'm just sick of it. I'm completely over it. Whatever. I'm so sick of talking about Aaron Rodgers, and I love Aaron Rodgers. So that's my thoughts on it.
Yeah, I think that BK's tinfoil hat theory makes sense. It would make more sense on the why Schefter decided to do it, right? Because as he was talking, like I was just kind of getting annoyed at him. I was just annoyed at the fact that he was just basically like, yeah, like I just did it because like sometime it was gonna happen, and I was like, oh, okay, like all right, that's cool, but there's like, is there any credibility behind it? Because it doesn't seem like there is, and that's very weird for Adam Schefter to do that. I said very well respected across the league. It'd be like Woj doing that. Like, it'd be really weird if Woj did that. You know, he's talking about LeBron's leaving the Lakers. It's happening, and there's literally just no source to it. It's like, well, he's got issues with the team. Well, yeah, like to Pete's point, Aaron Rodgers had issues with the Packers for a while, before their Jordan Love thing and all of that. So we'll see what happens. Reportedly, there's the rumors now are that the Packers offered him a large mass extension. Is that the case? We don't know. Yeah, air quotations galore. We don't know, but we'll see if anything happens more with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers. Sad news: Tariq Cohen's twin brother was found dead this past weekend at a power station. Now, I know Tariq had tweeted they were looking for him and he could be harmed. He's trying to climb. I think he was climbing some electrical like pole or something like that within the power station, and they found him. So that's super sad. Thoughts and hearts are out to the Tariq Cohen and his entire family. That was super sad. Also, could be sad the way you look at it. Tim Tebow is going to sign with the Jacksonville Jaguars as a tight end. Now, immediately, and I knew it was going to happen. I knew it right away. I was going to see a bunch of, wow, but Colin Kaepernick couldn't find an NFL job, but Tim Tebow did. Okay, here's the thing. Tim Tebow is taking the role of a tight end, not a quarterback anymore. Do you know why? Because Tim Tebow can't throw the football, and he understands that. Also, Urban Meyer is the head coach of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Do you know who Tim Tebow's college head coach was? Oh, yes, that'd be Urban Meyer. Okay, Colin Kaepernick doesn't need to be brought into this. There's no reason for him to be brought into this. This is about the Jacksonville Jaguars and Urban Meyer deciding, let's bring in Tim Tebow. We get more eyes on the team because now Tim Tebow's here. Gotta see what happens with Tim Tebow in Jacksonville as a tight end. I saw they had, I think it was DraftKings had it's plus 1,500 boosted that Tebow catches a touchdown from Trevor Lawrence this season. I hammered it. I was like, yeah, he's catching a touchdown. Damn right. Why? You don't do this unless he's going to catch a touchdown at some point. I don't care if it's a trick play or something. He's catching a touchdown. There's no doubt in my mind.
He's the one that throws the touchdown and Lawrence catches it.
Oh, that would make me so mad. That would make me so mad. Oof.
You know he can still throw the ball.
He's got the big JC on his side, so we'll see what happens with Tim Tebow. But David, your thoughts on Tim Tebow coming back as a tight end here to play with the Jags?
I mean, sure, cool, it makes sense, I guess. And the only way it was is if you already hit all the points because Urban Meyer coaching the Jags. He's bringing back his boy. Probably the only reason why. To be honest, he's probably signing him as a player, and then you know what? It's probably going to turn into maybe grooming him into be like a coach for the team. Future, probably going to come play for me first, work on it. I'll get you a job here. You start off as a player, see if you can still play. If you can't play, then transition into an assistant coach, and then work your way up underneath. That I could see Tebow doing something big time like that. If he doesn't want to go back into being a college analyst and stuff like that he was doing. Besides when he was in the minor league baseball, because I know he's been bouncing around now. So,
That's right. It's a men's organization.
Yeah. So I mean, it's cool. As for the compare, I've seen him. I'm like, yeah. Kaepernick got an offer. He declined it. Remember, he wanted more money. So think of that as well. Pretty sure Tebow's getting paid nothing. So we'll have to see what the contract is officially, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be low. It's not going to be high at all. So it's another thing to consider when you're trying to compare the two. Hey, if you wanted to play as a quarterback, you should have accepted the offer that you got, especially if it was probably the only offer you had. So that's all I got to say.
Right. BK, your thoughts here on Tebow coming back to the NFL?
Well, shout out to Tebow for finally realizing that, he could have a job in the NFL if he just agreed to play tight end, and that's looked like what happened here. That's what people were saying when he was coming out, like, hey, man, you really try out as a tight end. Like, dude, some of those drills. He's like, nah, I'm a quarterback. And I was like, bro, you had to transfer high schools because you couldn't even cut it at quarterback at your original one. That's a fun fact. Look it up. So good for him. He's a year older than me, so shout out to him. He's getting, he's 34, and honestly, that tight end room in Jacksonville, slim pickings. So he's got Chris Manhertz in front of him, 29-year-old journeyman. James O'Shaughnessy, 29-year-old journeyman. Luke Farrell, who they just drafted, 5th-round pick, so not terribly high. A rookie. Hasn't been there before. Tim Tebow could make some noise. And like you said, he knows Urban Meyer. Urban Meyer knows what best to put him in successful situations. Let's be real. It's good for him. It'll be interesting. And I think start the year he'll probably be top 10 jersey sales.
Dang.
That was rough right there, just because everyone down there is gonna want to get a Lawrence jersey first. Oof.
Are they gonna get two?
I'm not Jacksonville fans. I'm talking everyone else. That's a huge Tebow fan will pony up the money for Tebow because they were getting all the other jerseys. So
sure are.
I mean, sure. I could see it.
Said JC for Tebow, baby. JC for Tebow. Pete, your thoughts on Tim Tebow returning to the NFL?
I mean, why not? Good old Timmy Tebow. He makes the NFL better. People, it's another reason to watch. And I mean, yeah, him in Jacksonville, the Trevor Lawrence, him. And also you got to think about it from the perspective of if Tim actually does make the team, and think of where the media is going to go. A lot of the pressure is going to be off of the young Trevor Lawrence. If Tebow's there, a lot of the talk's going to be there. Maybe that's the thing that Urban's like, hey, we'll kind of ease Trevor in. Also, I mean, Tim's one of the best leaders of all time.
Yep.
Let's just be honest. So, I mean, if we're going to have a guy, come in, it's not going to be your backup quarterback. I mean, unlike the Kaepernick thing, obviously he changed positions to get back, but we already talked about that. That's why he's in the NFL. But, I think from that perspective, that's why you bring him in. And yeah, I mean, BK touched upon it. Their tight end room stinks. Let's just be honest. It's not very good. And hey, maybe Tebow's a good fantasy tight end. maybe that's it. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, him to go to Jacksonville is just fun. And I'm just looking up Tim Tebow, facts here. And Tebow was actually born on the day that I got married. So shout out to Tim Tebow, August 14th. Nice job, Tebow. Nice job, man. That's why we picked the day. That's why we picked the day, because we felt Jesus saying that's
Tebow.
The day.
You felt Tebow. That's what it was. You felt the presence of Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
There it is.
Exactly.
You nailed it with the point about the leadership. That's a big thing. Tim Tebow, ultimate leader, locker room guy. That's going to be great. I will tell you, the team's prayer chapel is going to be banging with Tim Tebow. It is going to be. And Trevor Lawrence, man, the Jacksonville
Let's go.
is going to have a lot. Yeah. Jacksonville's going to have a lot of outside power when they get those 5 wins this season. It is going to be fantastic. Yeah, the biggest thing there with Tebow is that is him accepting, like, yeah, I'm going to be a tight end. Now, Francis Hernandez 2.0, maybe without the murders.
Oh.
Definitely without the murders. For sure.
Mm.
For sure. But we'll see. We'll see what happens with Tim Tebow. I don't hate it. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't hate the move. David mentioned, it's going to be cheap. No doubt. It's had to be a cheap deal, 1-year deal just to get him in there. And to the point of, yeah, their tight end room sucks. It's awful. So if Tebow could just do something, probably better than what they have. So we'll see. Also, can't wait to play as the Jags now in Madden and have Tim Tebow out there just firing up the crowd. It'd be fantastic. Timmy Tebow. Oh, yeah. And also, fun fact, tomorrow the NFL schedule drops. So, and we're going to have fans in attendance this year, so get ready for tickets too. If you're trying to go to a game, keep your eyes out there, because I'm sure it'll be very difficult. Because, I don't know. It's all going to depend on where you're trying to go see the game, because, Roger Goodell in the draft said they're going to pack it up. We're going to pack them. So we'll see what happens and how packed these NFL stadiums are as we get closer to the season. But yeah, schedule drops tomorrow, I think 7 p.m. our time, Central Time. So there we go. We'll find out where everybody's playing. Let's move on to hockey. Yeah, cross-check it with the 2-time Grudge champ. All right. The Caps finished this year as the number 2 seed in the East behind the Pens. Good on them. Those pesky Penguins, though. Able to nudge them out, BK. Pesky Penguins.
What a Pens move to be good.
Speaking of not being good, the Hawks finished 6th in the Central with the Hurricanes taking that division. They had a chance. The Hawks had a chance to end the season on a good note. There was about 3,500 fans at the Madhouse, and you could feel it. You could definitely feel it if you were watching highlights of the game or you watched the game at all. You could definitely feel the energy from the fans, which is awesome. It was really cool. I know I had a friend. She was at the game with her mom, and she was recording like when they did the anthem and stuff. And it's just you get goosebumps. You get goosebumps being able to have fans back there in the UC, even though the team was awful this year. A lot of injuries though. But yeah, they blew it late in the game, then losing overtime to Dallas. So the Hawks officially end the season on a loss. That's all right. The Leafs cruised in the North, and the Golden Knights won the West. Now, earlier, we didn't know how the playoffs, when they were going to start, but then the NHL said, don't worry about it. We're dropping it right now. We're going to do it. We're figuring it out. The Stanley Cup playoffs start on the night of May 15th, while the regular season is still going on for a couple of teams because of, COVID and stuff. The Canucks had postponed 8 games because of a COVID outbreak within the team, and the Canucks and the Flames will officially wrap up the regular season on May 19th. The Caps and the Bruins kick off the Stanley Cup Finals the night of May 15th at 7 p.m. John Tortorella won't return as the Blue Jackets head coach. Nice. Oh, I see. You put BJ's head coach. Nice. I get it.
Yeah.
Nice. You love
the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, the BJ's. I get it.
Yeah.
Could have been the Blue Jays, too. I get it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
I understand.
Get your mind out of the gutters, listeners.
Didn't power wash them. That's the problem. Didn't power wash.
Podcast this month alone.
Power wash your gutters, everybody. Power wash your gutters.
I am not power washing my gutters, but all right.
It's actually satisfying after you finish, and they look great. Not gonna lie, just first-hand experience.
Are you power washing the outside of the gutters or the inside? Because I'm not getting up that high enough.
To go, and I cleaned them out. Got up on the ladder, had all the nitrile dip gloves, got the mud, leaves, and crap out of there. But no, power wash the outside. They look really good.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice. OV.
BK, real quick, BK, do you have a picture, that you're going to show us or, put on AM Nation Pod so everybody can know, like, what the heck the gutters look like?
I can take a picture of the gutter. I don't have a before picture of the gutters, though. I can send you a picture of the driveway and, like, where I stopped and where I was like, cool, I'm not going past this point because no one parks on this part of the driveway. Like, I
it looks
went
beautiful.
to where Yeah, P2 knows because he visited. You know where I have like the Jeep parked off on the side there?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I stopped like at the end of the Jeep. I was like, done. I'm done. Real close to the gravel, so it's not a big deal.
Yeah, I love it. Oh, Carlos said, "Go Cubs!" Nice, dude. That's not on this show, but nice.
I don't know what you're talking about. I already acknowledged his. Go Cubs.
Oh,
that was muted for you guys. Wouldn't hear me.
Well, man, how am I supposed to acknowledge it? Now I got to pay attention and stuff. Ovechkin becomes an investor in NWSL's Washington Spirit. Nice. Good to see it. You love to see that for Ovi. So very nice. Goalie, this man, let me tell you, I was already really emotional on Mother's Day because so my aunt and my uncle just had another baby. And so on Mother's Day, after I had breakfast with my mom and stuff, I went over there and I was holding the baby, and they're like, "Oh, can you hold him with an arm? Open this card." And I was very confused, like why I had a card, and it was ended up asking me to be the godfather, so I got very emotional. And on top of that, then I saw this video and got me extra emotional. Ryan Miller retired from the NHL this past weekend. He finished with 391 wins, most all time for a U.S.-born goal stopper. And yes, thank you, Ryan. Green Machine Ebner, you beautiful SOB. You are 100% welcome. God bless you. But the video of him with his mom and his dad, and they're crying. Bro, oof, it gutted me. I was very, very already emotional. And I was like, ooh, that's tough. Ooh, that's tough. Good stuff, though. Good stuff from Ryan Miller. Also, have anything else there? No, I skipped that. All right, we're good. So this part, like, I'm gonna say it, and then I'm gonna kind of let BK go into it because he did the research here to get to ask Elaine about this because I didn't. So first off, there's a bit of an issue here with Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres. Jack had a herniated disc in his neck and his play suffered from it, which we saw this season. Sabre team doctor did not believe he needed surgery until the end of the year, and Jack was not able to get a second opinion or recommend surgery sooner, which is total BS. It's not good. Okay. The way this injury has been handled has made Jack question his future with the Buffalo, in which he is tied to the team through 2025 to 2026 season. And yes, of course, credit to Elaine at I'm in the Rain Dancer. I'm Rain Dancer. Yeah, on Twitter. For the assist with the BK there on the news. BK, your thoughts here on Jack Eichel and the Buffalo Sabres?
Just to reiterate again, thanks to Elaine for helping us do the research, get the notes for this, and part of the reason he wasn't allowed to get the second opinion, it's the CBA and how it's written up, and it's really messed up that he can't get a second opinion and get surgery on a herniated disc in his neck, which doesn't sound good, especially if you're a hockey player. I mean, like we always joke, he's a hockey player. They'll come back, but like sometimes the guys do need to, take some time away from the ice and get better. But I mean, the notes I had for you there pretty much like touched on the highs and lows of it. Hopefully he can move on. And I did neglect to mention here, he asked like for a trade. And everyone was kind of like, why? And he didn't really mention why. We're getting towards that time, and so now this all kind of comes out here. So that's why he was asked for the trade, and that's why his play suffered. And so hopefully the CBA gets amended to where these guys can just get a second opinion just to get some help. I mean, goodness, it's a little messed up if your employer's just like, well, no, you're fine, but you're not. That's concerning. Sure
is. Yeah, it's awful. It's not good at all. Yeah, I tell you what, man, that's awful. It's just bad business, because if your player, or like you said, like your employee is banged up and you don't let them figure out what's wrong with them, they're not going to perform well. All right? Not going to perform well on the job. Someone needs to call OSHA on the Buffalo Sabres there. So I'll call BOSHA, baby. Get it done. Now, are you ready, BK?
Wait.
Oh, go ahead, Pete.
Wait, Ryan, before BK takes over here, just on Jack Eichel here real quick. This really sounds like a Washington football team, issue that they've had like so many times with their team doctors just being terrible. But I really just wanted to have this opportunity to shout out to Jack Eichel that if he needs a team to take care of him, the Chicago Blackhawks will take care of Jack Eichel. We will make sure Jack Jack, you can do whatever you want. Come to Chicago. We'll take care of you. Shout out, Jack. Bring him to Chicago. Let's go. But Ryan, that's all I have to say.
Fantastic. Good push for the Hawks to get Jack Eichel there. Love to see it. Yeah, really, really bad. David, do you have any thoughts here before BK takes it to the pitch on the Buffalo Sabres and the ruling that he couldn't get a second opinion on his neck?
Not really. You guys pretty much touched on it, so I'll let you guys go right to the pitch.
All right, let's do it. I'm gonna hit that music, and BK is gonna take us to the pitch.
It's time for BK to take you to the pitch.
Take it away, BK.
I really did enjoy listening to the intro. I can hear it. I have to listen to the podcast, which I do anyways, because they got to be a good Monday morning quarterback.
Got to, and you got to give us a listen. I get it.
Right? You got to film study. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, hey, shout out. Yeah, maybe I should send this to my mom so she can give us a nice solid listen too.
There it
but
is.
maybe not. I don't know.
Mr. Ebner
Arsenal
listens
do
to
it via
it.
Real.
There you go.
Nice. Hey, shout out. Arsenal do it via Real. Humbling out of the Europa League and won't be playing European soccer next year for the first time since 1995-1996 season. Mikel Arteta, the manager for Arsenal, has hinted at multiple times now that there will be major squad overhaul this summer. They have a lot of guys that they semi got rid of at the winter transfer deadline, kind of didn't transfer them, loaned out players because they just weren't playing and they had high wages. They kind of still have to solve that issue because it was a loan, so they didn't fully trade them yet. So there's a lot. They got to sell like everyone. I mean, it's not a good time to be an Arsenal fan. So just drown in sorrow. Cheers to Arsenal for sucking, and I can hold that with y'all Bears fans. We can drinks on us. Drinks on us.
Wow.
As a reference here, is the last time each of the big six EPL teams, English Premier League teams, didn't qualify for European soccer. Spoiler alert, Arsenal was the longest time ago. So everyone else still suck it. Tottenham, 2009 to 2010 season. Man City, the same year, 2009-2010 season. Man U, 2014-2015. Liverpool, 2016-2017. And Chelsea, 2016-2017 as well. So you can see it's been a while for Arsenal. They are pretty consistent in terms of in English football, which we did touch upon in that Super League episode. So if you haven't heard it, please go back, give us a listen. Tell us what you think. We have a great back catalog in there of sports, anime, and video games. Check it out.
We do. Good plug.
Thank you. Yes. Man, you glided in their game against Roma. They lost 3-2, but they really didn't need to play hard in this game. They won the aggregate overall 8-5. They were cruising the whole time. Good for them. So they're going to face Villarreal in the final. That game is scheduled for May 26th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. So for all of our Eastern listeners, do your thing. If you're not, plan accordingly.
Do the math. Yeah.
Yeah, Mathematicus. Womp womp. Arsenal beat lowly West Brom 3-1 with goals from Pepe, Willian, and Emile Smith-Rowe to set in stone West Brom's relegation. So we've touched upon that a few times. West Brom will no longer be in the Premier League next year. They're going down to the Championship. So that sucks for them. They're losing out on a lot of TV money. So sucks for them. Man U beat Aston Villa 3-1 with goals from Bruno Fernandes, Mason Greenwood, and Cavani over the weekend. And then unfortunately, they lost today to Leicester City 2-1, officially giving the EPL title to Man City.
Yeah.
Fuck them.
There it is.
Wait, don't like them. Yeah. Crap. That was well, no, that's why I donated 20 last time.
That's right.
I'm good. Still have a buffer.
Right.
Conor McGregor has expressed some interest in buying Man United and could do quote unquote big things. All right. I know this is getting Ryan all tingly in his underpants.
There's
However,
tightening.
yes, there's a stiffening.
Oh. my shirt.
The great stiffening. However, Conor McGregor would need significant additional funding or a buying group. Maybe that we'll touch upon later with A-Rod. I don't know. But Forbes estimates Conor McGregor's net worth at 180 million pounds. Man U is valued at over 3 billion pounds. So he could buy a 6% stake as it is now. So hey, not bad. That's more than I could buy. That's more than all of us could buy combined together. But for him to do these quote unquote big things, he's really have to secure additional funding.
Yeah.
That's it for the pitch segment here.
Let me touch upon the McGregor thing. I do.
Yeah,
oh yeah, of course. Listen, it's Man U now, which I've adopted, and then Conor McGregor. Love him. So let me tell you something. I'm all for Conor McGregor somehow getting in with a group and buying even just a part of Man U. That would be awesome. That would be fantastic. He just sold off his that Proper 12 whiskey, and he just sold off his stake in that. That was pretty cool. Which is low key some pretty solid whiskey.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Conor McGregor. Let's do it, man. Let's do it. That'd be awesome. I'd be so hyped. I would have been like, wow, I came around at the perfect time. Look at this. I'm a man, Conor McGregor, strutting through, telling them how to get things done. You know how it'd be.
Not a Fairweather fan at all. Not one bit.
No, I'm still.
That's not how it is.
Like right now, you know what I'm doing? It's like, I'm going on a bunch of speed dates. I'm going out here and I'm just trying to test the waters, see who's right for me.
I understand that. Hey, you gotta test drive before you take the vehicle home.
Of course.
It only makes sense. But now we're gonna kick it back to Ryan. We're gonna hit his hardwood.
Oh yeah, we're gonna get the hardwood with me. Jaylen Brown is out for the season for the Boston Celtics. No bueno. He's got I think it was a torn tendon or a torn ligament in his wrist. That is not good for Boston, who has also been pretty bad this year. So not good all around for Boston Celtics. Good news though. Russell Westbrook passes Oscar Robertson for the most career triple doubles with the number 182. His career average through 13 seasons is 23.2 points, 4.1 turnovers, 1.7 steals, 8.5 assists, 7.4 rebounds, and he's 79% free throw shooter. I think I talked about this last week because we talked about Russell Westbrook and how good he had one of those crazy games last week. And I talked about how if he played, let's say during kind of like that Iverson era, if he would have played around then, I think we would put Russell Westbrook so much higher up than maybe we do at times. But it's because he came around right as Steph Curry and the rest of the 3-pointing changed in the NBA, and the dude can't shoot a three. Okay, he just can't. We know that. Really bad. And that kind of, I think, it changes what you think about Russell Westbrook. But overall, I think Russell Westbrook, one of the better point guards of all time, what he's been able to do to facilitate, and just insane that he passed Oscar Robertson. That's one of those records I think a lot of NBA fans thought, no one was ever going to touch that. Because I think LeBron right now is the only closest current active player, and he's at 98. So, it's pretty difficult to get 182. Russell Westbrook, though, gets it done. BK, I know you love Russell Westbrook, so thoughts on him passing Oscar Robertson?
Russell Westbrook's absolutely one of my most favorite players of all time. I mean, just wow, love him. Just would love to have a ham sandwich with him. Just a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
No, sarcasm. Not a big Westbrook fan, but credit where credit's due. I love the Big O. Playing for the Milwaukee Bucks there, and Lou Alcindor at the time, Kareem Abdul-Jabbar for people that don't know that.
Mm-hmm.
Oscar Robertson's a great ball player, and to pass him is an achievement. And as much as I do poo-poo on Westbrook, this is nothing to poo-poo about. He is a transformational player, and I think even more than the triple doubles, in which I talked about this the other week, might have been a week or two ago, is that the intensity and high energy he brings to the floor every night is absolutely commendable. And through 13 seasons here, where he brings that energy that he's still almost like a rookie, where he can't wait to go after lose every loose ball, every rebound, everything like that. That tenacity, that's something I think that will that he'll really be remembered for, even more than these triple doubles. And I think they relate, because they kind of almost tie into each other there. So hats off to him and doing it as a Wizard. So that's really cool. And he's played well here without Beal recently with the hamstring issues. So yeah, shout outs to Russell Westbrook. Congrats.
David, your thoughts here on Westbrook getting 182 career triple doubles?
I mean, it is good. Just a quick touch on, you said that no one probably would break it. Sadly, I think Magic Johnson would have broke his record, Oscar Robinson's record, if it wasn't for his illness and having to stop. I think he's third on the list now, if I'm not mistaken, since Westbrook passed him. But yeah, for Westbrook passing him, that's still an amazing accomplishment. Just from that, it's one of those statistics that you don't think that's ever going to happen, right?
Right.
When you think of these numbers, you think of like, the hit streak from MLB, or batting 400 in MLB, or like having a triple crown, like you compare those type of stats, you think like, wow, it's like impossible, right? You don't really see it that often. There's like stats that you don't think will ever be broken, and that's one of them, and it was broken. And it's not just that he's breaking it; he's averaging a triple double for the season,
again,
which is just mind blowing. To have those type of stats for a whole season. And I get that, some of his games are padded, but cool. Can't pad every game. So, you know what I mean? For still to pull it up, you're still pulling it down. You're still helping your team out, at least to the level you possibly can. I mean, I know they're still fighting for that last play-in slot, which they're most likely going to get. Even though I know it's the Bulls down there, but it's not happening. The Bulls are horrible. But yeah, he's been doing great. It's been working out great for them. Maybe if Washington had a little bit more help there, it may have been more. He's kind of like a one-man show, kind of like how Steph Curry is over in Golden State right now. Trying to do his thing. Obviously, he doesn't do a show like the three-pointers like how Steph does. So he gets undershadowed a little bit from his performance, because he's not that big name, and people see him as a person that bounces around from team to team, and no one wants to play with him, and other players don't get along with him. So he gets that bad rep, but he's still putting up numbers. He seems like the guy that just wants to play. And that's what it comes down to. He just wants to go out there and play, and he doesn't care how you think of him. That's basically how it is.
That's a good point. That's a very, very good point. Yeah, Russell Westbrook just out here balling. Pete, your thoughts here on Westbrook passing Oscar Robertson. Also, Magic Johnson, yes, he was the third closest at 138 career triple doubles, followed by Jason Kidd with a little over 100.
Shout out to J Kidd. What a beast. But no, for Russell Westbrook, I mean, this is very impressive, what he's done. No, BK touched upon it. Like, the thing with Russell is, like, he doesn't give up on plays. Like, he's 100%. We always complain about the NBA where we're like, oh, I take nights off. As great as LeBron is, like, we've all seen plays that LeBron's like, is he really trying? I don't think you've seen many from Russell. Russell's always, doing everything possible, going hard, just doing whatever he has to do for his team. Now, is his shot accurate? Probably not. But, I mean, like, the effort is always there with Russell. So, yeah, I mean, a testament to him. I mean, I remember, like, growing up in basketball, like, my coach would always say, rebounding is effort. And effort is always there with Russell. So, props to him. A great accomplishment here for him. But, yeah, I mean, him and Beal, have been fantastic here for the Wiz so far this year. So, I mean, that's why they're in that spot. But, yeah, I mean, we talked about it before with, like, Russell. I mean, he puts up stats. Like, he does – whatever is needed, to try to get his team to win. So, but yeah, it's a great accomplishment, especially, I mean, Oscar Robinson. I mean, this record's been there for years. I mean, we've had a lot of great NBA players, go through since then. And for Russell to do this, and Ryan, I think you touched upon it when you're talking about LeBron, like where LeBron is, for as great as people think LeBron is, and even Michael. I mean, Michael, never was around the triple double really for the most part anyway, but I mean, as much as we talk about LeBron, for him to be as far ahead as Russell is, and for him to average a triple-double this year, absolutely phenomenal. So props to Russell Westbrook.
Yeah, and also, people don't usually talk about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. Russell Westbrook tore his ACL, am I correct?
Yeah.
Right, and it
was like the same time.
It's D Rose. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like a little bit after D Rose. Yeah.
And it could have gone, a completely different way. D Rose and Russell Westbrook, right? Two players that are very, very explosive. They rely heavily on their explosiveness. Russell Westbrook was able to obviously come back better than Derrick Rose did, unfortunately for Rose. But like for him to come back from that and continue just to get better, and the effort to always be there is something you can never knock Russell Westbrook for. So yeah, hats off to Russell Westbrook out there passing the big O on career triple doubles. See, the thing is now, because what always makes me laugh is when Colin Cowherd always talked about like Russell Westbrook, like when you get triple doubles, he's like, oh, it's not a big deal because he made it normal. Well, he did that. He made the triple double become boring to you, where like you're like, oh yeah, it's a triple double. It's still a very, very big deal to get over 10, to get the 10 points, the 10 assists, and the 10 rebounds as a point guard is very, very, very impressive. And for him yet again to average it this season is unbelievable. And Russell Westbrook, like, I just love that. I always love that when sports media wants to like, well, now it's just normal. It's like there's somebody that talks about on Mad Dog Sports Radio. He talks about how the no-hitter in baseball has become normal, where it's not fun anymore because now so many players are doing it. And it's like, yeah, you're seeing them way more this season perhaps than we have recently, but like it's still very impressive to do, right? So when people poo-poo on Russell Westbrook for getting triple doubles because he made it normal, you can kick rocks. That's what you can do. You can kick rocks because Russell Westbrook, absolute stud. Wish he could shoot, because if he could, boy, that'd be impressive. But that's all right. He had to have one flaw, and it had to be his jumper. So,
not trying to knock down Russ here, but a no hitter is harder to do than a triple double. All right, get out. And whoever said that the no hitter doesn't mean anything, we'll get into that later. But that person's been smoking the crack pipe, and they need to stop.
Yeah, I say because BK very much is very, very passionate right now about a no-hitter. Yeah, David mentioned the Wiz are sitting at that 10th and final spot after they lost last night to the Hawks without Bradley Beal, which then Bazemore and Beal got into it. It was really fun to see on Twitter. Some fake Bradley Beal account like got people and like thought that was Bradley Beal talking in another thing, and that was really funny too, but it wasn't. And then I saw Bradley Beal's wife chirped in too. Fantastic. This is fantastic. Good stuff.
Even hard with the pain. And he was not ready.
I was like, she went really hard, and I was like, ooh. Should have stayed in his lane. The NBA scoring title race before Beal and Steph Curry will come down in the final game, with Curry averaging 31.9 points per game and Beal's at 31.4 points per game. So, very, very close. Also, A-Rod, BK mentioned, his buying group hasn't completed a deal during the 30-day negotiating window for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Both sides are continuing talks in good faith in hopes of reaching agreement, though. Listen, A-Rod's got a lot going on right now, okay? Him and J-Lo, they're not together. First, it started with him and J-Lo not being able to buy the Mets, right? There's that, all right? Then J-Lo's like, listen, I don't know why I'd be with you. You can't even buy the Mets. I'm out, all right? Now she's back with old love interest Ben Affleck. Boom, there you go, dropping some knowledge for y'all. Pretty fantastic, right? I'm a big Batfleck guy, so that's pretty cool. He's turned himself around after the booze problem. He's doing good. That's awesome. And now apparently couldn't even get a deal done because his brain's so clouded. Couldn't get the deal done for the Minnesota Timberwolves. Don't know what's gonna happen with that. We will see. Pete made fun of him because he's like, wow, you know what you want to get. You want to buy the hot Minnesota Timberwolves franchise. And maybe A-Rod was listening. Shout out to you if you were, A-Royd. And he was like, you know what? Yeah, Petey Tahiti, he's right. I don't think I want it. Yeah.
Well, I mean, honestly, if A-Royd is listening, can you just stop calling games? Like,
I was
just
gonna say,
forever?
maybe focus on that.
Can you just stop? Just stop calling games. That'd be great.
He's absolutely awful. Absolutely awful at it. And also, yes, I was gonna mention this. Yes, I was. BK, he did it. He knocked off Pete in the semifinals of the fantasy basketball playoffs, and Dalton beat Tim in the other semifinals. BK started the season 0-8, and here he is in the championship. You love to see it. BK versus Dalton. I was trying to figure out who has Russell Westbrook because I don't know the answer to that.
He does.
And you still can beat him?
Well, okay. I don't. You know what?
He was hurt. Just like
You
how
know
my
what?
team was hurt. That's
Yeah.
how I lost to him. My whole entire team was hurt. I had to drop people to try to even compete. So
Same
some
here.
of you guys picked them up, but I may have helped some of you guys out. I don't know who picked them up, but I had like so many COVID and day-to-day stuff. I was like, I don't know what to do. Like the worst week for me.
Yep.
Yeah.
I know he doesn't have LeBron.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of messed with me at the end of the year here. The whole LeBron being hurt, and also Brandon Ingram was huge. For me for fantasy. So yeah, I mean, but hey, props to BK. BK killed it. So, and that's why a few weeks ago, Ryan, when he was facing you, I was terrified.
Yeah.
Because I was like, I do not want to face BK. BK's like that hot playoff team in the wild card NFL. You don't want to face them. You don't want to face them.
Football Giants.
Yeah.
You are stupid Eli Manning. That's who you are.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Plaxico does great ball.
Oh, man. So, yeah, BK in the championship. We'll see how that goes next week when we talk about it. Did BK bring it home for the AM Nation fam? We see.
Looking good.
Oh, no. Oh, man. Before we close with MLB, let's get to some miscellaneous sport news. First, I'll go first. The sad news today, former Hawaii quarterback and Washington football team quarterback Colt Brennan dies at age 37. They didn't release a cause of death yet, but his dad did say, I think he was on his 5th month, I believe. In a rehab center that's where they found him. And I mentioned the reason, I think I tweeted about this. I was like, what? Because as soon as I saw it, it's like one of those things where you're like, the name flashed on on my phone, and I was like, oh, I was so taken back because I mentioned prior to the show, I might still have the hat somewhere, but I literally bought when I was younger a Hawaii hat. The University of Hawaii hat, because I watched Colt Brennan play a couple games, and I was just like, I was like, dude, I like this guy. It wasn't that I was like, man, this guy's gonna be an absolute stud in the NFL or something, but I just was like, man, I was so enthralled by how he played. So I bought a Hawaii hat just for that. So that was super, super sad to see today that 37 years old, far, far too young. Thoughts, obviously, with the Brennan family. BK, you have some other miscellaneous news.
Yes. Churchill Downs has suspended infamous trainer Bob Baffert after Kentucky Derby winner Medina Spirit tested for high levels of the steroid betamethasone.
Nice.
If the findings are upheld, Mandaloun will be declared the winner. Bob has loudly refuted these claims the past couple of days here and plans on clearing his name as well as the horses. He's blaming a lot of other people. He's blaming the groomer before for just putting extra of the steroid, and then he's saying there was more of the steroid in the ointment than they were led to believe, and they wouldn't have used it in the first place. I don't know. And then his most outrageous claim that he did was to insinuate that his horse is a victim of cancel culture.
Yeah.
Which is just the biggest lulls. If you need to hear it, just look it up. Just type in Bob Baffert plus horse plus cancel culture. You'll pull up the clip, and if you're having a bad day, it'll bring a smile to your face because you'll realize that you're not that senile. It is absolutely ridiculous. The only horse to be DQ'd after winning the Kentucky Derby is Dancer's Image in 1968. Medina
Dang.
Spirit is expected to run during the second leg of the Triple Crown at the Preakness Stakes in Baltimore. Whoop, whoop. However, this can change if the officials at Pimlico or the Maryland Racing Commission decide otherwise after more evidence comes to light. So that is something to kind of follow here going into this weekend. This is big news. So if you don't really follow horse racing, ignore it. But horse racing is pretty cool. You don't have to have a long attention span.
Fun fact, people might not know this. Ryan Green Machine Ebner does know a little bit about horse racing. And so the betamethasone, is that what it is? Betamethasone, it's used to like for joints, right? It's supposed to relieve the joints of the horses. It's like an inflammation thing. But the weird thing about horse racing is, okay, so in the NFL, the NHL, the MLB, you have one central governing body of those leagues. Whereas in horse racing, right, you have all over, like all the different, you have Churchill Downs, and then you have, like, Florida has their own. Like BK mentioned, Maryland has their own. Illinois has their own. California has it. They all have their own. That's why it's just very, very complicated on what's going to happen. More than likely, I think he'll still keep it. The horse will keep the win. And that also he will, yeah, I mean, more than likely the horse will compete. This weekend. No, in my opinion, yeah. But yeah, cancel culture coming for the horses, dude.
That as well. Just
You agree?
think from all the sports betting, if you were to overturn this in the sports betting world, then everyone like say who you were in second, who you had second place, and be like, well, now I won my winning,
Yeah.
right? I have all this up for it, and then if you already most likely paid out the winnings, they're gonna be like, well, we want our winnings back. But if you did like a real ticket, there's no way they're gonna be like, no, they're just gonna ban him for future races and give him the
Money
win.
be already in my account, man. I got time for that. It's already in my bank account.
Money's already gone. But yeah, there's gonna be a big uproar for that. So there's so a lot of people would be like, that's where I would see the biggest issue, trying to disqualify after the winnings already have occurred. You know, that's just rough.
Also, with sports betting, I just want to point out when it comes to horse betting, okay, FanDuel, DraftKings, figure it out. Figure your crap out. All right, it's making me mad. I went to bet last weekend, right before the race. I was having a nice lunch with a couple of friends. Right, one of them was the voicemail caller, Melissa, and we were at this restaurant. It was pretty cool, having a nice blue moon, obviously, and I was like, oh man, race about to start. I want to throw some money down. So I'm on my FanDuel, and it like takes you like to make you download another separate app that's just for horse racing. Then for whatever reason, this app so basically, you put your 25 in, which I did, bet the money. I didn't win because this horse that cheated won. So whatever. I don't even know where my horse finished. Couldn't even tell you. So then, money came back into my account, and then this app doesn't want me to let me cash out. I'm so upset. I'm like, I'm not gonna. Now I gotta pick another horse this weekend. So if anybody's got, tweet us at Ammunition Pop. If you got a horse you want me to throw $25 on, I'll do it. But yeah, get it together. Just let it do it on one app. I'm so tired. That's so annoying. Sorry, Pete. I know you had something. Go ahead, buddy.
So I was gonna say, like, for David, for your point, about changing the winnings, the Kentucky, I guess, Racing Commission already said they're not changing it. So like for the winnings, they're not changing it. So they might like change the other horse like winning, but they're not going to change like the wages, which makes the most sense, because you imagine how insane that would be if they have to go back and try to. They would be, oh my god, it'd be so hectic.
Be awful, absolutely awful. Sorry,
Yeah.
BK, back to you.
I honestly didn't even think of the sports gambling. That was a fantastic point by David. Shout out to David. ECU baseball takes 3 of 4 from Tulane over the weekend to take the top spot in the conference from Tulane, and now sit at 33-10 overall. Pirates have not lost back-to-back games all year and have yet to lose a series. ECU sits at number 11 overall in the rankings, and the SEC on the top 4 spots in the college baseball rankings. So, good for you, SEC. I still hate you.
I'm looking here at the Twitch chat. Frank asked, because I'm assuming this is about because the horse cheated, or the horse didn't cheat. You can't yell at the horse, okay? The horse didn't inject itself, okay? But like the team probably cheated.
We don't know that.
Oh, it's true. We don't know. Frank, why can't Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame? Listen, Frank, I am full on board. I can have a whole show based on why I'm upset with baseball for not letting Pete Rose in the Hall of Fame. It is an atrocity. It's completely ridiculous. All his stuff is in the Hall of Fame. You won't put the man in the Hall of Fame. Listen, I'll stop it there, because otherwise I'm going to go on a rant for like an hour. But man, I'm with you. We might disagree on Cutler, but I'm with you right there. Now to wrap up the show today, Peter Tahiti, why don't you take us around the diamond?
Absolutely, Ryan. I will gladly do that. And we're gonna start off with BK's Orioles, man. John means business. BK, I know you were talking about this a few weeks ago. You're like, he haven't seen a no-no. I think you foreshadowed this event happening. John Means throws the first complete game no-hitter for the O's since Jim Palmer in 1969. Nice.
Nice.
He was one he was one wild pitch away from a perfect game. Well, let's not think about that. Sam Haggerty struck out swinging, but the ball got away from Severino. He reached first base. Haggerty was then thrown out while trying to steal second by Severino. So then it looked kind of cool. Looked like it was a perfect game. See, everything's all clear, but it doesn't count like that in baseball. No matter what you think it is, it does not count like that. But BK, you have the floor, man. Let's talk about your boy.
Oh man, well, I honestly forgot they were playing early that day. I forgot it was a getaway day for the Orioles, and so I'm leaving work that day. One of the warehouse guys, Matt, he's also a big Orioles fan, so we always, we always chat O's, and I'm leaving. And he's like, "Hey," it got my attention. I was like, "Hey, what's up, man?" And he was like, "I just want to let you know." He's like, "It's early." He's like, "But Meats got a no-no through 5." But I was like, "Oh, okay, hey, that's cool." I'm not getting excited. I've been hurt so many times before. It's whatever. He's like, nothing right home about it. He's having a great game. He's looking good. I'm like, hey, that's cool. And I get home and I'm still, and usually when I get home, I have to go straight into like my after work chores is kind of like what I call them, like you're taking care of the farm animals and all that stuff. I'm doing that. I kind of just like get in the zone, do all that stuff, get out the clothes for work for the next day. When I get the update on my phone. From ESPN. John Means is scoreless, has the no through 7. I was like, oh crap, nope. And I stopped everything. I was like, I gotta watch.
Yep.
Not missing this. And then I told Colleen, and after every time he pitched, like I'm giddy, just like walking around. I was Colleen. I was like, I've never seen this happen. This could happen. And then a bunch of like my Maryland like group chats, like all I did was just I texted them eyeballs, and then like the other one just like put the prayers emojis, and my one boy just went shh. Like no one said anything, but we all were talking about the same thing. Just like but all we just used were emojis, like we were just preteens. It felt really good. I texted my family members, and I was like, "So we're all getting John Means jerseys now, right?" And they're like, "Absolutely. Whenever the store puts them on sale." Getting them, so I'll be getting a John Means jersey. I'll probably even get Colleen one too. It just feels great. I haven't seen one, and technically there was a combined no hitter in 1991. That was before they were even at Royal Park at Camden Yards where they are now. So that was Old Memorial Stadium. So wasn't even at the ballpark that changed baseball. Just shout out to John. Fun facts about John Means here, especially with that game. He threw 26 batter's first pitch strikes out of 27. So, for all you kids out there, throw strikes on the first pitch. John wasn't offered a scholarship out of high school. Went to West Virginia, and then in 2018, almost gave up his dream on baseball in the minor leagues. Was contemplating quitting. Actually, made a LinkedIn profile. Was gonna enter the normal workforce like us folks. So it's a great story for everyone to really not give up on your dreams. And honestly, and you look at John, his fastest pitch in that game, I think, was in the 9th inning when he was throwing 94. You don't have to throw straight heat. If you can locate your fastball and it's got a little bit of movement, and if you can pitch a heck of a changeup and you just throw the curveball in there every now and then to throw hitters off, you're gonna pitch for a long time in this league, and you're gonna have a lot of paychecks. You don't always have to throw high 90s. Tom Seaver was talking about this, that guys nowadays don't know how to pitch. They don't take care of their bodies. They throw as hard as they can, and they don't know where it's going half the time. And so just keep that in mind, kids growing up.
Good MLB is the show advice.
True words,
too.
BK. Yeah. Yep. All right, so, we had, one no-hitter, so we had to end the week with another one. Wade Miley tosses the MLB's 4th no-hitter of the year, which is crazy to think about, or 5th, if we want to count Mad Bumps, 7-inning no-hitter. Against the Indians on Friday night. This is the second time, fun fact, the Indians have actually been blank this year. Actually, with her thoughts, I wanted to get Molly involved to see her thoughts.
Nice guest appearance.
Oh wait, she wasn't here. She didn't show up like the Indians hitters twice this year. Didn't show up.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Oh, Molly, no.
oh yeah. That's not gonna go over well, boys, with the wife on that one. I know that for sure. Yeah.
That was good.
If you
Yeah.
are not watching it live, go back and watch the video on AM Nation Pod. Get to about an hour and 20. Hour
Catch the
19.
pre-show where you watch Pete get whacked by Molly.
Next Tuesday.
Oh, yeah.
Make sure you
So,
check out the pre-show.
Yeah, so that was unexpected. This is something I thought of like maybe a minute before I was talking. But speaking of no hitters, the Patriots, the Pirates now hold the longest streak here in baseball between no hitters. The last one was in 1976 by John Candelaria. So yeah, that's a long time. So BK off the schneid. There we go. All about the Pirates now. It's on them. It's on them. All right, so actually transitioning here. So we're going White Sox. White Sox are white hot. 7-3 of their last 10. Looking pretty good. Rotation was fantastic this time through. Sit atop the Central when they begin a series here with the disappointing 12-20 Twins here tonight. An update: the White Sox are currently up 5-3 in the top of the 7th. And I will turn it over to Ryan for your thoughts here on your White Sox so far.
Listen, it is fantastic. Carlos Rodon continues. He's one of those no-hitters. He's actually the one that did the Indians the first time. It's been fantastic. Dylan Cease is pitching. Fantastic. Keuchel and Lynn are getting it done. It's literally just Giolito. It's just him, and he's still getting it done. But he looks the worst out of all of them, which is okay. We'll get there.
Shocking.
It is. I don't know if anyone saw it. I retweeted, and it was like, they're not last anymore, but who's only got 12 wins in the AL Central? And it's Joe Biden going, Minnesota. And I got really hyped up and excited about it because I was like, you damn right. Listen, Minnesota Twins fans, they got me last year. I saw them all chirping. Chirp, chirp, chirp about the White Sox. Chirp, chirp, chirp. And I was like, I don't even know why you think you're relevant to us. We don't care. We don't care about the Minnesota Twins. Now you can kick rocks with your 12 wins. Hope you get swept this week by the White Sox too. Minnesota can, you know the deal. You know the deal.
Say that.
Can I say that? Is that what you said?
I mean, if WWE could say it on TV every week, then why can't you?
Suck it, Minnesota. You can suck it. Fantastic. They have created a rage in me. Let me tell you that. But the White Sox are playing great. We still don't know what we're going to do about the outfield, but Andrew Vaughn's doing a damn good job out there in left. So I dig that. They're still going to have to address it. I think they moved up now this week to third in the MLB power rankings, but you got to address it.
No, I think it's up. They were number one in the one I saw.
Oh,
The
number
first.
one. Ooh, scoop,
First
scoop.
in the power ranking that I saw.
Very nice, very nice. That's cool, man. Listen, San Francisco's up there too, which is just insane. But the White Sox are playing great. They obviously are. I love it. I was a little nervous here in the beginning, but again, it's just May 11th, so we'll see how this continues to go. But man, let's go.
Yeah, they're looking good, man. Hey, it's starting to warm up. Playing some better baseball. Let's go. Speaking of better baseball, hey, Cubs had a great week last week. Sweep the Dodgers, 2 walk-off wins. Guess what? Bueller stinks. Bauer stinks. Kershaw still crying. Let's go. Cubs are back. Took 2 of 3 against the Pirates. And then, we lose the first game to Cleveland here because Bieber was pitching. Whatever. Don't care. But no, I'm going to kick it off to David. Hey, your thoughts on the Cubbies? Are we back?
It's hard to say because when you sweep the Dodgers, you're like, wow, we just beat, probably the best team that coming into the season considered the best team, right? Right now, they don't look like the best team. So from a pitching standpoint, when we're able to actually hit, and I'm saying that the Cubs are able to hit and then actually able to pitch and hold the Dodgers from not destroying us from an offense perspective, seems kind of nice, right? Because Hendricks, he just pitches, I don't know, flips a coin like, you know what? I feel good today. Nah, I'm going to give up 7 runs today. He just figures he doesn't know what he wants to do. So it's nice to see it, like I said, I still think the Cubs are like a 500 ball club team. I mean, I'm gonna take my wins when I can, and take it here and there. It's nice to see. Um, but overall, I don't think we're not a dominant team. We're not going to be like this force. But hey, we play great against these teams because we swept the Mets and now we swept the Dodgers, and the Mets are first place right now in the East. So I'll take it.
Yeah. No, David, I think you hit it right in the head there. We are exactly a mediocre baseball team. 82 and 80. Let's go. Come on, Cubbies. That's what you look like. That's what you look like. You look great one night, you look terrible next night. I mean, the hitting is starting to turn around after I ridiculed them so much first few weeks. They are starting to turn around, but as David mentioned, our pitching still not great. Kyle Hendricks, I think he forgot how to pitch. It's like every couple starts. It's like one start a month. One start a month, he's good. That's it. I mean, that's what it's been so far.
Mediocre, and then you get a horrible one.
Yep, exactly. And it's like, and David, honestly, if he could just get out of the first inning, we'll be good. If he can just not give up 4, I'm feeling great about the game. If he doesn't give up 4, we got a chance. I mean, yeah, it's tough. It's been weird for Kyle here so far. But speaking of being rough, so Pujols actually just got released by the Angels after he had that monster contract here with the Angels. Where is he going? I mean, there's so many reports out there. I mean, Pujols, think about it. He has not hit above 250 since 2016. So in 5 years, he has still not hit over 250. And you got to think, that's in the AL. We got the DH. And you got to think, most of that time, he was around Upton, around Trout. The last few years, Ohtani. I know Ohtani's been in and out of the lineup with injuries. I mean, does anybody have any thoughts about where Pujols is going to go? I mean, I guess I'll start here with BK. I mean, where do you think he lands?
Maybe I can almost see going back to the Central there, going to Milwaukee, playing first base there. I can see it. Imagine him in that lineup with Yelich there. That'd be great. I'd really like to see that. And it could be pseudo revenge, going to the same division as the Cardinals, getting to play against them a little bit more. Get some little revenge action. I don't know.
David, your thoughts? Where do you think Pujols is going to go?
I mean, Cardinals are always the top seed, right? But where's he gonna play? So he's not going there. They already have a first baseman that they spent a lot of money on. He's definitely not taking him out of the lineup to have Pujols play there. He's definitely not gonna play third. So that's the only other position I could think he could play, and they just traded to get some. Even though they don't pay for that guy at third base, but they'll let him. That one's like a freebie over on third. So I read a side note. I saw an article that the Colorado Rockies are basically paying someone to beat them. So that's basically that's what they were doing, because they just lost because of him. It was hilarious. I forget. That's just rough to think about that point. But from Pujols has to go somewhere in the AL. I mean, he has to be a DH. He can't go anywhere else. I mean, I know the White Sox about could be there. It's probably where Ryan was. He's going to talk about his thing. But from a DH perspective, it don't make sense, and they already have a first baseman, so they have a reigning MVP there. So
right.
I don't see it. You have a great DH already.
No, it ain't coming to the White
Well,
Sox.
I mean, no, I was going to say, Ryan, I mean, Tony La Russa, you bring him back. Let's go. A little reunion here with him, Pujols with the White Sox. Come on, man. What do you think?
Tony La Russa, considering how he studies, probably still thinks Albert Pujols is batting above 300, tearing up the league. Do you remember? I don't know if anyone remembers this. Albert Pujols used to play left field. Isn't that crazy to think about? Also, does everybody remember when Albert Pujols couldn't even hit a grounder? Everything he hit was at least a line drive. You remember that? It was insane. And here he is, can't even bat above 250. Let's say Albert Pujols, at the end of the day, I believe will probably be a Hall of Famer for sure. But yeah, no, he's not going to the White Sox. Thank the Lords above, because all I saw was that I saw the best tweet, and it was the White Sox looking to complete the Holy Trinity. It was Ken Griffey Jr. in a Sox uniform, Manny Ramirez in a Sox